The confetti is gone, football season is officially over, and somehow tomorrow is not a bank holiday. Yes, indeed, Super Bowl 57 is in the books. The top two seeds, the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles, dueled in a tight one in the desert, complemented by Rihanna and some religious commercials. Third Super Bowl appearance in 4 years for the MVP Patrick Mahomes and his coach Andy Reid. Jalen Hurts leads the Birds into battle on the other side and gets them going immediately. 7-7 early, but Hurts launches a rainbow into the waiting arms of A.J. Brown to give Philly the lead in this one. Tack that on to Hurts' earlier rushing TD, and the Eagles were rolling, but Hurts, with his only major mistake in this game and the only turnover, Nick Bolton scoop and score, 36 yards for the touchdown to tie it up. Late in the game, the Chiefs came back from down 10 to take the lead. Fast forward here, Kadarius Toney cuts it back, ducking and diving. He runs about 50 yards across the field, and then he cuts it back upfield, getting close to the end zone, not quite in there, but the Chiefs would punch it in on a Mahomes touchdown pass to Sky Moore, but Hurts and the Eagles not going away. Another deep bomb, 45 yards to Devontae Smith. Hurts would get his third rushing touchdown of the day. They need the conversion, and Hurts sheds a tackler on the conversion to tie things up at 35, but they leave Mr. Mahomes over 5 minutes. That's an eternity for him. Chiefs are driving, but it's incomplete on third down. It's going to be fourth down, or is it? James Bradbury called for a holding penalty on Juju Smith-Schuster, and the Chiefs had a chance to run out the clock. Harrison Butker lines it up and splits the uprights. 27-yard field goal for the win. The Eagles' Hail Mary fell incomplete. 38-35, Chiefs with the victory. Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns, and he gets his second Super Bowl MVP. He and Andy Reid are building a dynasty in Kansas City. Believe it or not, other things in sports did happen tonight. Over in the JMA Dome, people are very excited. 3 straight wins for SU men's basketball, and Duke coming to town. 31,000 very close friends showed up, the largest crowd in college basketball this season. Among them was Buddy Boeheim. You remember him? Buddy Boeheim got the chance to see Syracuse in the game early. Judah Mintz picking the pocket, and then he gets the slam on the other end. That's about the last time SU would be in front in this game. Duke got hot and went on a run. Derek Whitehead gets all 3 of those on the other end. Derek Lively rejection. Tyrese Proctor spot up, 3 ball, and it was all Blue Devils. SU trying to stay alive after that long Duke run. A little 3-man weave action in transition, and Mintz drops the hammer. Duke led it 40-27 at the half, and they would not look back in the second half. Jeremy Roach, dribble move, elbow jumper. Duke just dicing up the SU zone in this one. Senior Joe Girard would try to keep SU in it. He hits that one from the top of the key, but the closest that the Cuse would get in the second half is 10 points. The exclamation point on the game is the alley-oop to Derek Lively, and that would be curtains. The 31,000 Cuse faithful go home disappointed in this one. Duke wins it 77-55. After the game, head coach Jim Boeheim and senior Joe Girard said the Blue Devils completely neutralized the Syracuse offense.
The bottom line, Jesse, has to be able to score for us to be effective. Our defense really wasn't that bad. There were spots. We had that one bad run.
We weren't really executing on offense. They played tough defense. They had a bunch of tough kids who were good defenders, and they were just making shots. They're a really good team. They just played better than us tonight. We'll move on from it and get ready for the next 2 games because they're tough ones as well.
Those 2 tough ones Girard mentioned are road dates with Clemson and Pittsburgh next week, 2 teams who have been near the top of the conference standings all year. While SU men's basketball fell to Duke in the Dome, SU women's hoops was down in Tallahassee, taking on a ranked Florida State team. Deasia Fair and company have played their way to the NCAA tournament bubble. Early in this one, Sanaya Wilson with the reverse pivot and finished getting the Orange going with the bucket off the window. And then Georgia Woolley, the Aussie, goes down under. FSU led for the majority of this game, but Syracuse hanging around. Dariana Lewis hitting from the baseline there, and then Deasia Fair trying to keep the Orange in it. She had 19 in this game to lead the Orange, keeping them in it. She hits the step back 3 there, and boom goes the dynamite to keep Syracuse within 2, but late in the game, it was all Noles Aaron Howard hits the dagger three-pointer in the corner and the foul for Florida State. The bench loves it, and the home team, the women in pink, get the victory. The Orange fall 78-65 in this one, dropping to 7-9 in the ACC. Up next, the Orange have another test against Miami at home in the brutal ACC before their final ACC game at Pittsburgh. And how about a little lacrosse action to finish off your night? SU men's lacrosse only won 4 games in all of last season, but they've already won their first 3 this year. They won on the road today for their first big test of the year against the reigning national champions in Maryland. The SU defense, led by transfer goalie Will Mark, had not allowed more than 7 goals in a game entering College Park. Can they keep that going here? Early, Owen Hiltz near post makes it 3-2 Maryland. A minute later, Luke Roa, just a freshman, rips a heater to tie things up at 3. Maryland led 7-3 later in the second. Griffin Cook's goal made it 7-4. Now we go second half. Michael Leo, high to high. He makes it 9-6 after halftime. Cole Kirst on the run. He gets a goal, and then the Syracuse premier goal scorers got involved. Jackson Burtwhistle with the tight angle. He had a hat trick in this game. And the biggest highlight reel goal of the game, Joey Spolino with the no-look BTB to get on the board for the freshman, but Maryland would win it 15-12 as they pulled away late in this game. And it doesn't get any easier for the Cuse after this one against Maryland as they welcome North Carolina to the Dome Saturday for their ACC opener.
Karl, a lot of things happened over this weekend, but to go back to the Super Bowl, how did you feel about that holding call late in the game?
I didn't love it, just left a bad taste in my mouth for a game to kind of be decided that way. But Nick Sirianni for the Eagles said it after the game, and so did James Bradbury, that it was the right call, and no one penalty call or non-call can really shift the momentum of the game. So with that being said, I still think the Chiefs deserve to win.
I think we can all agree that the halftime show was quite the highlight. But of all the commercials, which one stood out to you as your favorite?
I think the Blue Moon commercial really got me. It was nice to have a different beer company getting in on the mix, and you always like a surprise twist at the end, so I know that had everyone roaring at my Super Bowl watch party.